So this stage I'm kind of proud of. Uh, it's a kind of a nice idea. You can see he's throwing out cheap cheeps, and he's throwing out like the green ones, so it kind of produces difficulty. Yeah, so you can go above this area. You can go below it, and when you go below it, well, this is kind of like a sunken castle, so you see like the throne here, and then you have the table. But if you go to the top, that guy's not going to spawn, so this isn't going to be difficult, but I guess I'm just showing off the level anyway, and then if you want to play it for the difficulty or experiencing it, then it's kind of just as well in that sense. So anyway, that's kind of the easy mode, because you get the, the fire flower, which is the power-up you're going to want to have if you're underwater in this series. So that's just kind of easy mode there. But more come out that throw different stuff later on, like this guy. He's throwing... what do you call those? Brain farts. It's not really that hard if you have the power up. And can you still kill him if you sacrifice yourself? No, you still can't kill him. Oh, there he goes. So yeah, you don't necessarily seize the stage by going to the top as much as you just have a different level experience, because you have those things shooting stuff, but you do get access to this star that I didn't notice earlier, and now he's throwing out ones that have the babies, or whatever they are. The baby. Okay, so if you go up here, then you're kind of locked into being in this upper area. So let's start it over again. You can see that Cloud here has goggles. And then you see him again at the end of this stage. And you also see these coral. And as you can see, later on in the stages we saw, it was really big, but here they're smaller, so as you go further into the stage, they get larger. And, this has kind of an underwater sunken castle look, because, well, I don't know what I'm going for with those at the top, but, you can kind of see it. Oh, and the other idea is it's haunted, because those are the ghosts of the castle. People who died here or whatever. And then you also have the bone fists inhabiting this area, because, it's, there were dead bodies here or whatever. So this is probably my best level, except, not super hard, but it's more on the creative side. But there are some challenges as well, like that cheap that he just threw at me. So here's like the second palace, and that guy, you can kill him, but he's tricky to kill. Oh, he's throwing bombs. And he can blow up, I guess these. But I guess the idea here is that these, what would you call those? They're kind of growing at the tops and bottoms of the stage. Like, they're growing up here, and then they're growing down there, and then there's a big pile there. I'm not sure what you'd call those exactly. Kind of, maybe like evil coral, I don't know. My throat is getting sore. And then you have this giant fist that you didn't have before. Yeah, I like that he's just kind of throwing bombs out. Oh, he killed himself. Oh, so now you see that the fists are really big. And they were, regular size before. So I think that's kind of an interesting detail, I guess. And then here's the last castle, which is just the end of the stage. But, whoops. Be sure to not save that. Although I don't think it really affects the stage in any way. How it looks in anyway. But yeah, if you were to go for those one-ups, you'd have to watch out for the obstacle there. Oh, and then there's the little cloud guy we saw at the beginning of the stage, so it's like he came with you at the end. If I were to design this level now, I'd probably make it so that you see him sporadically throughout the stage rather than just at the beginning and the end. So yeah, there's that I would do. So here's the trick to bloopers. If you just walk on the bottom, they never go far enough to kill you. I think in most of the games, if I were to go, you'd actually have to be on the very bottom. If you were to be on like an upper platform here, I think he'd still kill you. In the classic games, I think it's only the bottom of the stage where he doesn't kill you, but the idea is still the same. So as you can see, I stopped uploading at 10, which is the original you could get. I think I unlocked 20 by the time I got to 10, but, there were other things to do, So this is my troll level. So this one's kind of a mockery and a parody of the Don't Move levels. I was getting really sick and tired of the music stages where it automatically pushes Mario through and you don't do anything, and I was really getting bored of seeing those in the when you're playing through the levels, because I actually wanted some kind of challenge. And then, of course, there's also just general trollishness. So it's titled "Don't Move." So that's the title that they always call the stages where it's just music sometimes, but also the ones where it's one of those machines. I forget what the name for that is. But anyway, it just plays the level automatically. So if you aren't expecting it, you get that stomp there. It is somewhat generous with the time, though. Like, it isn't one of those you die immediately. Like, that looked kind of immediate, but by the Mario Maker standards, that's pretty generous, actually. So then, this is one of those really trollish levels where it's just really difficult. This is the only one I practiced. It was mostly just for my own satisfaction, although as you can see, I just messed up there. I'm gonna go through it again, because you kind of can't start in the middle there. Well, I think maybe you can. Oops. Let's see how that works. If you can do that. Yeah, it worked out. Oops. Oops, I guess kind of spoiled the idea of the stage. Let's see, does he... Oh, he just jumps over you. Okay. So, that last part's supposed to be cathartic. Cathartic or cathartic? No, it's cathartic, because, you're dealing with all these guys coming at you, and you're dying over and over and over again, but then you get to the end, and you use it to kill Bowser, and that's just pretty cool. But the other thing about this stage is, that's the hard way to beat it, but the easy way is to just jump on top of them. But I don't just hand it to you either. I do put some enemies up here, so it's still basically a level. It's a lot easier, but it's still a level. This is actually the hardest part because, whoa. Well, if you were to land here and you weren't paying attention, you just fall off and you lose your spin jump, and that's kind of a common thing in Mario Maker. Whoa. So anyway, you could jump down there, but anyway, the final challenge is these spikes. And the only thing you really have to do is make sure you jump above that one and then walk across those. So anyway, and then you end up back here again, and then let that one stomp on Bowser, and then you're good. So I kind of like that it's basically a troll level, but it's a troll level with class, I think. Maybe it isn't, but I feel that it is. Like, all things considered, like, that amount of time is fairly generous. I mean, with the naming, if you see this situation right here, and you think, oh, obviously that was a trap, maybe I should jump, that might give you enough time to react to that without dying on your first attempt. But I'm sure for a lot of people, it isn't enough time, and it isn't fair. And it really isn't fair, but it's like, as far as not fair goes, it's a little fair. So anyway, it's an unfair troll level that tries to be a little classy about it. So that's kind of the last of the regular levels, and then like the Super Mario Shattered Dimensions, I started an Ocarina of Time series, and I'm pretty sure I would have gotten through it, but you know, there were other Wii U games to play at the time. I think Splatoon came out, and it's really hard to go between this and Splatoon because, you know, they're both kind of online games, and in between making levels, well, between just playing levels on Super Mario Maker, there's hardly enough time to make levels if you're playing them. So, but I'll just go through the ones I have. I still kind of want to finish them, but I might re-upload these on Super Mario Maker 2 someday, and then remake these and then finish the series. So anyway, this is Cookery Forest. This is kind of the prequel because it's not really a difficult stage, you know, challenging like the main series is supposed to be. That's why I called it level 0. But, you know, here's Link's house. What is he doing? Is that still the cockroach? Moving. I don't think that was moving around like a cockroach normally moves around. Anyway, so that's Link's house. I don't know why I made it so that you can see down below. If anything, I mean, I should have put bricks down there, or maybe there wasn't enough space, and then you would have ended up seeing the bricks up here or something. I don't know. Wherever that's supposed to be. Let's see what I did for that. Yeah, Link's house is right there. So, maybe I couldn't have put the bricks down any further without making it obvious. But, you know, that's the opening of Link's house, and here's, like, the ladder, and this is where Saria's supposed to be. And then, this area is, like, where you climb up here around that house, and then walk across, that ladder, and that's supposed to challenge you to learn like 3D controls, and it's actually really hard. I don't think I really talked. I might have talked about it in the Let's Play. Oh, that was a moth. That wasn't a. Okay, and it was in the dark, so I didn't quite see it. So that's not a cockroach. It's a moth. I thought that was like the head of the cockroach. I'm in Texas right now. The cockroaches here are huge. By the way. So anyway, and then that's supposed to be the girl. So this is kind of an interpretation of that, in that, you know, it's that part of the game where it teaches you how to walk around in a 3D environment, because it's actually kind of hard to do if you're not used to it, to walk across that bridge. So that's kind of training, but it's reinterpreted in, like, you know, 2D Mario, so you platform instead of actually walking across the bridge. But, you know, you can definitely see where the bridge is meant to be. Otherwise it would, you know, you just walk across it and there wouldn't be anything to it. So I think it's a good compromise. I think this is supposed to be... Oh, well, this is... So that's like one of the, like, brothers' houses or whatever. And the coins, I think this is supposed to be the area where you're, like, picking up, branches, or not branches, it's where all those fences are, and where all the vines and stuff are. So, and then this area is the, where the boulders are. So you see that, well, I'll look at it again, but anyway, that's supposed to symbolize boulders running around in the maze area, and then you come up here and get the Link costume. It's just, you know, like getting the Kokiri sword. There's always, I don't know if the Link is always hidden, or maybe it's only hidden in this one, and this is like getting, like, the rupees or whatever. Anyway, that's interpreted in a platforming way, because you know, again, it's teaching you to walk around in 3D, but in a 2D game, it's more like, you know, you platform up there. So anyway, walking through this pipe with it all congested like this is symbolizing that, you know, you're crouching down and going through it, and like that. And it's supposed to be moderately, well, it's supposed to be like baby's first level, so, you know, if you really, really don't know how to platform, you might fall down there, but otherwise you just jump up here. I wonder if you can see how many people died here. What time are we at? 37, okay. That's probably enough time to get through this in the next level. So I think that's Mido's house, and I think I might have just killed Mido because it's locked, and he is the kind of guy who would lock his door. I don't know. I think this is the store, because you have the character who's on top of the store. Yeah. And there's the guy behind the desk. You have all these items for sale. And this is the girl character. So he's in the Karibo suit because he hops around. That's kind of funny. Again, I haven't seen this in years, so it's almost as surprising for me as it is for anybody who would be watching. This is the twin house, I think, because it has the pillar here and the pillar here, or whoever house that is that does that. Oh, here's Mido, and he's blocking your way. Let's see, so how am I supposed to get past here? Do you just jump? I think you just jump. Wonder what this pipe is for. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But anyway, here's the... Well, I mean, this should be obvious, but the fact that it's all narrow here is because it's the entrance to the Great Deku Tree, and here's the Great Deku Tree. So that's like, this is his eyebrows right here, and obviously this is, you know, the leaves or whatever, and here's his big nose, and obviously the green parts is the stalk, and then you enter it, and that's supposed to be, you know, like the entrance to the next level. So it's not just the dungeons, the series is supposed to be, like the in-between stuff too. Like, you know, there was Cookery Forest. It wasn't the Cookery Forest, though. It was Kokiri Village. And then after the Great Deku Tree here, you'd go on to, you know, something else, like, whatever would be next. Maybe Hyrule Field, but you might save Hyrule Field for something else. But, you know, I guess it would be Hyrule Town, and then you'd have the sneaky section to get into the castle, and I don't know how you do pull off stealth, but anyway, this